Alright, what is up everybody? We are back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today, we're going to be talking about NBA preseason. It's been a week since the NBA preseason started. We're so close to getting to the NBA regular season. I think we have one more week of preseason, and then we get actual NBA basketball. But yeah, we're going to talk about today's video. 1 week into preseason, things I see, teams, players are doing good, looking bad, all the stuff surrounding it. So yeah, we're gonna get into that. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications, do all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. Join the membership if you want to learn more about the membership. There's a video on my channel explaining all of it. You can go back and watch that. Links to my Twitters, all that stuff down in the description below. And yeah, don't waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. So I kind of have this broken down into like 4 different subcategories, I guess, of terms of where I got on my notes and how we're going to do this, get a little structure in here. So first, going to talk about teams in general. 9 players, just basically teams fitting right and wrong. First, talk about OKC, because OKC looks unfair. I mean, we know what they did in the offseason, bringing in Alex Caruso and Isaiah Hartenstein while not really giving up anything that really was a huge factor for them last season. Bringing back everybody, bringing those two in. And so far in preseason, they look absolutely amazing. Alex Caruso and Isaiah Hartenstein. Hartenstein's first game, he had like, 7 assists in that Spurs game, playing point center. It looked like he had some amazing passes. He had that one play where he was driving, he threw it behind his head, I think to Caruso. Him and Chet Holmgren did a dribble handoff. Like, he just looks so unfair to this team. And then we bring in Alex Caruso, just doing Alex Caruso type of things, you know. Chet Holmgren looked really good as well in preseason. It looked a lot more, just looked a lot better, you know, scoring wise, especially. J-Dub having some big moments. Like, this team, we all know that this team probably has the highest chance maybe of finishing number 1 in the West, but then seeing it on the court in preseason already is like, man, this team just looks absolutely insane. You know what I mean? The Lakers and Suns, 2 more teams I want to talk about. They brought in new coaches. They have high expectations, obviously, some veteran players, and they have new offenses, it looks like. JJ Redick with the Lakers, Mike Budenholzer with the Phoenix Suns, and both look pretty solid. With the Lakers, you see it so far with JJ Redick incorporating a lot more movement. You know, usually it's just like, all right, LeBron, AD, do something for us and hope to kick it out to the shooters and hope that the shooters hit their shots. You know, but this offense looks a lot better. You know, of course, you bring in JJ Redick, he's a basketball junkie, analytics. If you've seen his podcast and you know, have watched him on ESPN the last couple of years and broadcasting game, you know this. JJ Redick is such a basketball guy, the X's and O's and stuff. And so bring him in, you expected some more stuff, but it looks really good. I mean, a lot more off-ball movement, a lot more screening, a lot more action. Just looks like a, you know, actually smart offense is what it looks like with the Lakers, instead of just like, all right, LeBron, here you go, make something happen. Like, it looks like a lot more screening, a lot more movement, a lot more actually knowing what to do, taking a lot of plays from a lot of different playbooks, and it has me a lot more excited for the Lakers team. Obviously, it should be. You know, when you have a coach like this and you have a capable offense like this, especially when you have LeBron and AD, 2 of the best players in the NBA, running through it, you know, like, so it should be very, very exciting for the Lakers. You know, for the Phoenix Suns, I've liked what I've seen so far. Mike Budenholzer, obviously, you know, Mike Budenholzer's pedigree the last couple of years. He's always had a high-powered offense. When he was in Atlanta, whether it was in Milwaukee, anywhere, you know, it's a high-powered offense. And when you have 3 guys like Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal, 3 guys that can go out and give you 30 to 40 whenever they really want to, having an offense like this looks really nice. Of course, bringing in Tyus Jones helps a lot. I've also liked what I've seen from the rookies for the Suns. Ryan Dunn and also Iguodala look pretty good. They look like maybe they could be rotational players. But yeah, I like what I've seen from the Phoenix Suns. Again, a lot more ball movement, a lot more, you know, 3-point shots, which was a thing, you know, when you have Beal, Durant, Booker, all 3 of those guys also like to live in the mid-range area. That's where they get a lot of their buckets from. So yeah, it was really nice seeing those 2 offenses, 2 teams that looked kind of stagnant and looked like things weren't going in the right direction. Bringing in these new coaches, their offenses look better. And then 2 more young teams, the Houston Rockets. Of course, got a couple expectations now. At media day, they said playoffs. They have this great young core, and they look good. You know, Alper Sengun doing his thing. Men Thompson looks really, really good. And the Rockets just look like a really good team. And then the Detroit Pistons actually look competent. You know, like, watching their games, it's like, man, they actually look like they know what they're doing. JB Bickerstaff's come in. It's crazy when you get a coach that actually wants to coach and you get some veterans that actually want to play, you know what it does. Kate Cunningham had an amazing game last night. He dropped 25 points. Tobias Harris played his first game. He was electric, not electric, but he was amazing in that game. Jane Ivey has had some really good moments. Jalen Duran, like they actually look like a competent team. Now, everything that I say in this video, you got to take it with kind of a grain of salt because it's preseason. We can go in December, halfway through December, things can be totally different, and we're not even going to remember what preseason was like. But so far, the Detroit Pistons look competent, and it's like, maybe this team could be. I'm not saying this could be a playoff team, absolutely not. I'm not saying that, but they look like they can be. This is what maybe we expected from them last year. You know, like it has me kind of not excited, but it's like, it actually looks not horrible. So that's a great big step in the right direction. Next, we're going to talk about some new teams or new players that are on new teams, basically. Some guys that transition to the new teams and their first look at their new teams. Cat with the Knicks, obviously, this is a trade that happened very, very recently. And Cat so far in New York, so through 2 games, has looked pretty good with the Knicks. His last game against the Hornets, he dropped 25 points. He looks like he's going to fit right in. I mean, we know what he can do in the offensive end. He's already kind of in there, kind of fit in there really nice in the culture. Josh Hart already called him the big bodega. Like it just, it's gonna fit over there. It looks like it's gonna fit over there really nice. And so far through 2 games, he looks really, really good. Just having a spacing big like that can be on the court with already having a Jalen Brunson, who you also saw in that Hornets game. Jalen Brunson looked really, really nice, and having guys like Mikal Bridges, OG, Josh Hart, guys that are like respectable 3-point shooter. It's gonna look really, really good over there. And then the flip side of that, Dante DiVincenzo in Minnesota has also had some pretty nice moments as well. Clay to the Mavericks. That was a debut that happened a couple days ago. Clay's first game with Dallas. Now Luka was not there, so got to take this again. Take all this I'm saying with a grain of salt. But Clay, I like the fit with Clay in Dallas. The 2-pointers weren't going good. He had a couple mid ranges that he missed, but the free ball was falling. And a lot of his shots were really, really good shots. So I'm very excited to see that. Paul George had his debut last night with the 76ers, and he had a really, really good game at 18 points. It looked really, really smooth out there. Again, no Joel Embiid was out there on the court, so, it's not the full 100% what we're going to see. But Paul George looked really, really comfortable in there with the 76ers. He looked really, really nice. Him and Tyrese Maxey also looked really good in preseason so far, and it just makes me a lot more excited. And then DeMar to the Kings. DeMar with Sacramento in their first game went 100% from the field, dropped 23 points. I loved it. For some reason, I don't know. The more and more I think about the Kings, I feel like I'm buying more Kings stock. More and more I think about it. I don't know. I just feel like the DeMar DeRozan and Sacramento thing is going to look a lot better than people expect. Now, am I saying they're going to win a championship? No, absolutely not. But, I don't know. I just feel like because I'm going to do my Western Conference, my predictions and stuff this upcoming week. I'm going to be doing my predictions and stuff. And don't be surprised if I have the Kings a lot higher than maybe what people expect. I don't know. Just something about this Kings team that I really am buying into, and seeing DeMar do his thing, it's making me a little bit more confident that I'm gonna be right. But yeah, some new teams, new players, they looked really, really good on their new teams. Some of the bigger acquisitions of the offseason that are gonna change some teams. And so far, seen some pretty good things. Next category, I guess we're going into, I called it the comeback, is what I labeled it in my notes. So basically, guys that look like they're gonna take a jump this year so far early in preseason. First one, LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball has looked very, very good. So the first 2 games of preseason that I've seen from him, he looks really, really, really good. Last year, I feel like he had a really incredible year, but then injuries the last 2 seasons have been so detrimental to him and to the team and all that. But LaMelo, so far through 2 games of the preseason, has looked very, very, very good. When the Hornets are a different team. When LaMelo Ball is on the court, the Hornets are actually a competent team, is what we've seen the past couple years. He just needs to stay healthy. We know how great he can be. But so far, the first 2 games, he looks really, really good, comfortable, looking right back to his old self. And I'm very excited. I just am praying and hoping that LaMelo will be healthy this year. We're going to get a healthy LaMelo Ball season. Because if we do, then that's just going to add so much more fun to the league. And along with the Hornets as well, Trey Mann. Trey Mann has looked very good. Last year when he got traded to Charlotte, he had some good moments. And so far, right now, he looks really, really good. It might be a 6-man of the year candidate. Who knows if he's coming off the bench? Trey Mann has looked very, very good. Rocking the braids with the big jersey and the big shorts, like bringing back the 2000s era. I'm here for it. But yeah, I really like what I saw from both of them, Trey Mann and LaMelo. Next one is Zion Williamson. I feel like because I did my rankings this offseason, the top 50 players, top 50 different positions and stuff, and I was talking about Zion. I feel like Zion had a really underrated season, and he had his best game of his career against the Lakers in that playing game before getting injured and unfortunately missing the playoffs. And I'm, I don't know, I just get a feeling I'm really excited that this can be the Zion year where Zion comes out and has a huge year, and everyone's like, oh yeah, Zion Williamson is really really good. And so far, in his one preseason game that I've seen from him, I really like what I saw. I really, really like what I saw. Yeah, he looked really, really good. You know what I mean? And I'm just very, very excited to see Zion this season. Maybe playing the five. Playing five a lot more. There's a report that Herb Jones might start at the five and play the center role, which that's something I guess they got to get creative over there. But the Zion year, I'm really looking forward to Zion this season coming out and having a huge, huge year. Next, Evan Mobley in his one game against the Chicago Bulls. I am a Cavs fan. If you don't know, I'm a Cavs fan. What I saw from Evan Mobley in that first game against the Chicago Bulls in the preseason, tears could have been brought to my eyes because I was like, it might this might be the year. The Evan Mobley breakout year might be this year. He looked a lot more comfortable, a lot more confident, putting the ball on the floor, getting to the basket, dunking. He has a new jump shot, which didn't really work in the first game, but maybe it could be a little bit better. But honestly, I don't even care. If he never develops a three, whatever. I don't really care. But he just looks more confident on the court. And that's what I wanted from him. There's been a lot of times where he looks a lot more passive or a lot more kind of soft, but he looked a lot more aggressive, a lot more confident in his stuff. We already know what he can do on the defensive end. That he could be a consistently 18 points per game, 20 point per game type of dude, then that's going to take him to a whole nother level. And seeing what I saw from Evan Mobley in that game, I'm very, very excited for E-Mob. And for the Cavs in general, look great. But for E-Mob, I'm very, very excited that this could be the year where he takes that big jump. And if he does, that's only going to bring Cleveland's ceiling even higher. You know. Next, Jalen Johnson for the Atlanta Hawks. He had a breakout season last year, and so far in the preseason, he looks like another jump is coming for him. A lot more role and opportunity. I expect this year him kind of he's a number two, I guess, on that team in Atlanta, and he looked really, really good. His athleticism, is off the charts. Defensively, he looks really good, and then yeah, the shooting, the passing, like everything just looked better. And I'm very excited to see if this could be the actual another big jump from Jalen Johnson. If they can have that, then that brings this Hawks team maybe to another level as well. Wemby year two. He only played a little bit in that game against Atlanta Magic, but he looked dang good. Had some huge moments. Chris Paul threw him that lob. He had that one play where he had that double pump dunk. He looks really, really good. And yeah, it's Victor Wembanyama. He's gonna have a big year too. And then Larry Markkinen. Larry Markkinen honestly maybe has been the best player in the preseason so far. He had dropped 26 against the Mavericks the other day. The first game, I don't remember how much he dropped, but he looked really good in that game as well. He got a big extension this offseason, and it looks like it might be worth it right now. I mean, the way he's playing like an all-star again. And like the way he plays and all that stuff is really, really, really nice. And if Larry Markkinen has another big year like he's having right now in the preseason, how it looks, then the Jazz might be a lot better than we expect. Who knows? I really like what I've seen from some of these guys are here in preseason. And the final thing we're going to talk about is the rookies, the rookie report. Obviously, a lot of the rookies of 2024 class, this is our first chance of looking at them on the NBA court, and they're probably going to get a lot more opportunity in the preseason than they are in the regular season, some of them. And some of them look good, really good. We want to talk about some of them. Zach Edey is the first one to talk about because he looks kind of ready really early. I think he's only played one or two preseason games with Memphis, one with the full team of Ja and all of them. And it looks good. It looks pretty good. At the time, a lot of people, including me, maybe were a little pushback on the pick just because of how high it was and all that. But so far through a preseason game, it's like, you know what? Maybe we were overreacting to it. Maybe he's going to look really good over there. He had that one job just throwing it up to Zach Edey and throwing it down. I mean, having a 7'4" guy on your team obviously is really, 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 really nice to see, or really, really nice to have. But I like what I saw from Zach Edey with the rest of the guys, man. I really like what I saw from him. So, I mean, I think right now he's the favorite to win Rookie of the Year, which honestly, I had a video the other day talk about who will be the best player in the 2024 class, and I mentioned Zach Edey for Rookie of the Year because it's like he's probably going to have the most opportunity out of a lot of rookies, to be potentially a starter right away from day one, already being on a good team, having guys like Ja, Bane, Smart, they're going to give him the ball, having opportunities. Like I think Zach Edey's probably got the best shot at having that. So he looked I like what I saw from him so far. Zachary Versace, the number 1 overall pick, as well in his one game against Indiana, looked really nice as well. Like made some really nice plays. Was getting to the rim, hitting shots, playing off of Trey Young, and then making some nice passes. Like I was like, huh. I think a lot of people were really impressed by what Versace was doing. I mean, the number 1 overall pick, it's probably been maybe the least hyped number 1 overall pick in a very long time. There hasn't been a lot of talk about him or anything, and people have been kind of disrespecting him, honestly. Though Versace had a really nice debut, man. Very interested to see what his rookie year looks like. And some other guys, Alex Starr, the number 2 overall picked, in the first game against the Knicks, I think. Yeah, he had hit 15 points, hit a couple threes. Very interested to see what he does for the rest of this rookie season. With the way already defensively he looks really solid. But if he can bring that offensive game to it, then it's going to unlock a whole new ceiling for him. Rob Dillingham so far in his 2 games from Minnesota. I like what I saw. The Laker game especially. The way he moves on the court just looks like he's going to bring an extra spark to the Minnesota bench. Stephon Castle has looked very, very nice as well in preseason. Looks really comfortable. Already kind of looks like a veteran out there. I mean, the way he does it on both ends, the dunks, the ball handling, the defense, like everything just looks like, I mean, and when you're with the Spurs and with Victor Wembanyama, I mean, it just looks like he's just made to have a really, really good career, but also rookie season. And yeah, there's been a lot of other rookies, that have just been showing out. Guys like Keyshawn George from Washington, Tyler Kolek from the Knicks. Like there's been so much. Jalen Tyson from my Cavs. I like what I've seen from him. Matas Buzelis from the Bulls. I've seen some things. Jaron McCain, I've liked what I've seen. Like the rookies look really, really solid so far in preseason. Let's see where they get to the actual season. But so far, preseason, got some good things to say. And yeah, that's going to be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any other thoughts about the preseason, what you've seen so far from your favorite team or other players and stuff, let me know down below in the comment section. Once again, if you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, turn on notifications, do all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.